She refused to choose me. Her regret came too late. The air felt heavier that evening. A quiet weight pressed against my chest. I walked across the dim courtyard, each footstep echoing like a warning. The lamps flickered above me, trembling in the soft wind. Their pale light stretched across the cracked pavement. My breath drifted in small clouds, and every inhale carried the scent of cold stone and distant rain. I saw her waiting near the old fountain. She stood perfectly still, as if carved out of the night itself. Her eyes darted toward me, then away, almost fearful. The water behind her trickled with a thin, broken rhythm. It sounded like a whisper that begged me to turn back. I approached slowly. My heartbeat thumped like a drum in my ears. The world around us seemed to shrink until only the two of us remained. A rusted gate creaked somewhere nearby, cutting through the silence. She kept her arms crossed, sleeves trembling around her wrists. When I stopped in front of her, I could feel the cold rising from the stones beneath us. She lifted her head and her voice wavered. She said she had made her choice. She said it with a calmness that felt rehearsed. A strange bitterness curled through my chest, sharp and unwelcome. I waited for the truth she tried to hide. Her eyes glimmered with something that was not certainty. It was fear. It was regret trying to escape, but she held it back with a tight jaw. She said she chose him. The words fell between us like broken glass. For a moment, everything around me blurred. The sky above seemed to tilt. The lamps hummed with a low, uneasy vibration. The cold sank deeper into my bones, as if the world agreed with her decision. I could smell wet earth as the first drop of rain touched my cheek. She asked if I understood. Her voice cracked slightly when she said it. I stared at her hands, clenched so tightly her knuckles turned white. She pretended she felt strong. She pretended she felt certain. But her breath trembled with every exhale. I told her I wished her peace. My words felt too soft, almost fragile. A gust of wind pushed past us, scattering leaves across the stone floor. The rustling echoed like a warning that something was not finished. She turned away too quickly. Her shoulders curled inward. I walked from the courtyard in silence. The night swallowed the sound of my steps. The rain began to fall harder, tapping on my jacket like impatient fingers. Each drop carried the weight of something unfinished. Something left behind but not forgotten. Days passed, then weeks. Her silence grew thicker than the winter fog that rolled across the streets. I tried to let the memory fade. I tried to push away the cold that sank into my thoughts whenever I remembered her voice. Then she appeared again, this time on my doorstep. Her breath came fast as if she had run the entire way. Her hair clung to her face, soaked from the sudden evening storm. Her eyes were different now. Wide, unsteady, haunted. She whispered my name. My heart jolted, but I remained still. The wind howled behind her, pushing water across the ground. She said she made a mistake. Her voice cracked with raw panic. She reached for my arm with trembling fingers. I stepped back. The shock on her face froze her in place. Her regret clung to the air between us like smoke from a burning room. I could smell the rain on her clothes. I could feel the cold surge into the doorway as she stood there, waiting for forgiveness that arrived far too late. Her lips parted as if she wanted to speak again, but no sound came out. Only a silent plea carried in her shaking breaths. At that moment, the storm behind her roared across the street. Lightning flashed. For a brief second, her face lit up with a mixture of sorrow and disbelief. I saw everything she never said, everything she tried to bury, everything she finally understood. And then I closed the door. The house grew quiet again. The storm outside softened into a distant murmur. I leaned my back against the door, feeling the final echo of her presence fade into the walls. The warmth returned slowly, settling around me like a gentle reminder that release sometimes arrives in painful shapes. Her choice had carved a path that no apology could mend, and her regret, heavy and late, dissolved into the rain as she stepped away from my life for the last time.